Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's Benson. What's yours? We are gonna do some cooking today. Kristen saw this recipe. It is lasagna stuffed bell peppers. So it's like a low carb, keto friendly recipe because there's no noodles. You basically take the bell pepper and you layer your sauce and whatever cheeses and meats inside the bell pepper and you eat it. It's kind of like a stuffed bell pepper basically, but we're doing lasagna style. So I figure I'll show you. I'm making my sauce homemade. So first thing I did was I took a red onion and a yellow onion, chopped them up as small pieces as possible, and I've got them kind of hear them sizzling in the background maybe. I'm getting them to where they're translucent, and then we're gonna add enough garlic to kill a horde of vampires. That's key, and go from there. So right now I'm gonna show you the onions, and you can see they're kind of almost translucent, ready to go. And then I'm gonna hit this with some red wine just to kind of pull the little like stuff off the bottom of the pot and stuff. So, all right, you can see it's kind of taking on like a red color. I put the wine in there. The onions are kind of absorbing the wine. I use the red wine, and like I know some people will put sugar in their tomato sauce that can help balance out the acidity and stuff, but that's what I use the red wine for. So, got my onions all gooey and stuff. Now we're gonna add some tomatoes and some garlic and all that other fun stuff. Alright, so I did a lot of work. I didn't film. Basically, all I did was add seasonings, the tomatoes, the canned tomatoes to the pot. So you saw the onion, and I put an entire like bulb and a half of garlic in it. We really like garlic, but I'm making so much of it that it probably won't even be super garlicky. The tomatoes I used was just these from Winn-Dixie. It's diced tomatoes with roasted garlic and onion, and then some stewed tomatoes, Italian style that they have. Now the stewed tomatoes, when you dump those in there, make sure you bust them up with your hands so that they don't have to break down while you're cooking. This is really a recipe if you're kind of in a hurry. This sauce should be good to go in about 30 minutes, but I'm gonna actually let it I'm gonna let it simmer for the next couple of hours to really kind of let the flavors meld. But basically it's 5 cans of the diced tomatoes with garlic and onion and 2 cans of the stewed tomato Italian style. Then it is a tablespoon and a half of just tomato paste. It is 2 tablespoons of just Italian seasoning. This is another thing that Winn-Dixie makes. You can find Italian seasoning. And then I added a tablespoon of basil leaves. I love basil, it's the best thing. I can eat basil straight off the plant. I actually had a basil plant and it died over the winter. And then it's about 3 tablespoons of salt. I would say hit it with 2, stir it, taste it, and see how it is. And then I also put in 2 cups of chopped up onions. So for the tomatoes, I dumped the entire can of tomatoes in there, except for one of the stewed tomatoes. I drained it first and then crushed it and put it in there. But all the rest of it, I left the juices from the can in. So I'll show you what it looks like in the pot. So there it is. I mean, once you get your onions chopped up, and you get them kind of like simmered down and opaque and soft, then you just dump in the tomatoes, dump in your seasonings, your salt, the garlic, and let it go. And I will tell you, I used pre-minced garlic just because it was quicker instead of using fresh garlic, mainly because I forgot to get new fresh garlic for this, but the minced garlic works just as well. It's got a good garlic flavor. So that's it. I'm bringing it up to a boil, and I'm gonna reduce the heat and let it simmer, like I said, for a couple hours. And then this is like enough sauce for what we're gonna do with the peppers, and then plenty of sauce for me to put aside and freeze for other nights where we're busy and I can't. That's one of the things, like as you're learning to cook and stuff, that you really wanna find those things you can do that convenience you. So yeah, today's a Saturday, I'm not doing anything. I can make an entire like gallon of spaghetti sauce homemade. It cost me, what, $7? It probably cost me $25 to make it, but that's including the fact that I bought this brand new, and this is enough for like 3 or 4 pots, and then I bought a brand new thing of this. So probably, let's say this stuff was already on hand, I spent $7 on the canned tomatoes, because I always have onions on hand, I always have garlic on hand, and most of the seasonings. So that's, you know, that's a $7 pot that's gonna last multiple meals. So, you know, it's just easier that way, and it makes it more convenient later in the week. So like, we're gonna have stuffed lasagna bell peppers tonight, and maybe I'll make meatballs another night or something like that. So that's one of the things I always look at when I'm cooking. It's anything that I can do quick, because by the time I get home or Kristen's off work, it's pretty late in the evening and the kids are like, hey, let's get dinner going, we're hungry. So this makes it quick. I can have dinner done usually in like 20 minutes. So there it is, boiling. Boil, boil, toil and trouble. Don't look at me, dog. Double bubble, toil and trouble. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. My apologies. But I'm gonna reduce this and let it simmer away.